Go.
Hi everyone, I'm Dale Pinkard. Welcome to our live analysis room. Dollar's weaker today. The pound surprised me with the strength that it had on a rebound. I thought it was going to have trouble at the 153 level. Just blew right through it. Alien was right to cover short euro and get long yesterday. This return line comes in way up here. So perhaps we're having a dollar breakdown. The Dixie was at critical support. I don't believe it's holding. Looks like it's breaking down here. Let me get my charts up for everyone. So I thought we'd get some type of bounce from here at this 94.5 level, not getting it. The euro strong, and actually the pound was stronger today with its recovery. So therefore EG is rolling over, something I thought could happen from 74.80. But I thought it was going to be more due to euro weakness than pound strength. How's everyone doing today? Let me get... Hi, Alien. How are you? So Mauricio, Alien wants to do a call today in our opening hour. He wants to share some work. So anytime you're ready to go, we could get Alien on. Maybe we'll wait a little while and see if the room fills up a bit more. Hello, Khalid. I want to congratulate you on your reverse trade on the Dow yesterday. You made money being long, and I believe you made money being short. Okay. Everyone congratulate Khalid from trading the Dow from both sides, bought the dip, got short later before the market failed. The gambler wins. Okay. Alien will be back in 15 minutes. Let's see, is the tagline. In 15 minutes, yeah. So who's in the house? Fame's in the house, Abel's here. I see no handle. First for trading. Welcome first. Perhaps you were here for Yohei's show. Everyone welcome first for trading to our community. And congratulate Khalid on some excellent trading in the Dow Jones yesterday. Nice work, buddy. Yeah, that was a great trade. Hi, Mauricio. Are you in the house first? Fame, how are you? I like your new picture. Abel, hi, my buddy. How are you, Abel? So I look at the euro now. I just have a hard time getting long. It looks like it could go for this one, it looks like we're about to take out these highs. I just can't get bullish now up here. We're challenging this high. Where this could be an A, B, C. But that was a nice breakout out of the channel over 113. I don't know what to do. The Aussie yen came off yesterday, but I still think we could rally back to 89.5 in Aussie. Canada, I still think is not done. I think we could still head up towards 132 range. I'd be looking to buy breaks there. And the yen is just ugly, ugly, ugly. So how's everyone doing today? We have an options specialist with us as a guest today, AJ Monty. Looking forward to speaking to AJ. He's so famous, he's listed in Wikipedia, I believe under the option Oracle. So we're going to be speaking to an Oracle today. Stand by for that in a little over an hour. How's everyone doing today? Khalid, what are you up to? Still running. Pretty good momentum here. So Alien will give us some ideas in a little while. Dollar looks negative. WTI is weak. I thought gold, Euro Aussie. Looks like we're getting some kind of flag here. And the gold I thought was going to break down. We are diverging in the gold up here. This is a divergence in the gold on the 1 hour. Check it out. It's really the first divergence we've had in the gold. So if the gold can take out this 1165 range, next target 155 on gold. So it could be a tight risk trade here on the short side of gold. Diverging here. Really, this is the second divergence. This was our first. Maybe it's a little three driver here. And I'm not telling anyone to do it, but it's the first divergence under 70 in the gold up here. What do you think? What do you think, veteran? Gold short right here? Pretty much glaring divergence right here. What do you think, Khalid? Starting to work? You know, this candle, they went for the stops, and now we're rolling over. It's a low risk trade. You just risk $5, maybe for 20. Just an idea. I just noticed it. Not many people want to short gold nowadays. I bet the gambler takes the trade. Hi, veteran. What are you up to? That's with the euro making new highs. Pound making new highs. Yen making new lows. Let's see what Canadians for us. The crude. Okay. Isn't that something? So it better dig its heels in here. Nice look, Khalid. Looks bearish. Might pop from there. I think that's what Alien's looking for. Veteran's got a gold chart here. So Veteran agrees with me that this could be a top in the gold. He's taking the shot. 1145. Thank you, Veteran. I concur. Now this is a clean divergence. You see that? So we confirmed these highs. We diverged at these highs, and this last high was a pretty glaring divergence. So this is a pretty classic divergence sell setup. We've been diverging since this high, even at new highs here. Couldn't take out this reading. And then we popped one more time and we stayed under 70. Take a picture. That's a textbook example of a top pick using the RSI. Classic. Whether it works or not, it's classic. Thank you, Ved. Snaga. Everyone thank him. Here's Khalid's screenshot on the pound. Looking for 55. For a short. Up around this channel line. Daily. Thank you, D. Kadick, for your pound look. Here's another look by Veteran on the euro. He's looking for a high here. 1426. Just a little scalp. Thank you, Bed. Hi, Kev. Hello, Dr. Savara Man. How are you? Welcome to LAR. So here's Alien's look at the euro. I think he was talking about this yesterday, 1520, 1480. So a sell from this 1480 level. Pivot 13. Thank you, Alien. Everyone thank Alien for his euro view. Thank you, Alien. Nice look on euro. Okay. That's your interpretation. Thank you, Veteran. Here comes recovery in the end. Everyone doing okay? Hello, first for trading. How are you? UK Kev, how are you doing? How's everyone doing? Everyone doing okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, so aliens getting ready. Link sent. Okay, so just waiting for alien to jump into the room. You entered a long position. Okay, good shot. It looks like a decent shot there. Everyone wish Khalid good luck on his oil buy. We'll be watching it for you, buddy. Do you do Brent or WTI? Trade WTI? Yeah, you must be trading WTI. There is some divergence on the 1 hour there, DK. Hi, Jax. How are you, buddy? You're here in time for our chat with Alien Ovicho. Stand by for Alien. Alien Oicho, where are you? He's flying in. Alien Oicho is flying in on his flying saucer from a parallel universe. He should be landing here soon, and I am his robot. Danger, danger, Alien Oicho. Danger, danger, Alien Oicho. Watch out for these humans. They only care about themselves. They're not like us, where we put others in front of ourselves. Danger, 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 Alien Oicho, on your mission to Earth. Humans will feel threatened by your giving nature, and they'll think that you have an agenda, that you're trying to get money out of them. Danger, danger, Alien Oicho. Danger. I was abducted. Oh, they're probing me with needles. Oh, they just put a needle in my head to find out why I'm so intuitive about the markets. Oh, they're stealing my personality now, these aliens. Uh-oh. They're checking out my genitals. They look very disappointed. Danger, danger, alien approaching. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Get Dr. Smith to turn me off. Where are you, Dr. Smith? Turn me off. So WTI is trying to reverse for the gambler. And the gold divergence, as we need this candle to close lower. Tim has a flying saucer. Hello, Jose. We're waiting for Alien Oicho. He's going to beam into our Google Hangout. Beam in, Alien. Beam in. There's a man who lives a life of danger. Everyone he meets becomes a stranger in everything he does. Da, 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 da. Odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. They're handing you a number and taking away your name. Don't wait to buy gold. Buy gold and wait. There's a man. Yeah. Where is he? There's a man who lives a life of danger. Everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. In every move he takes, another chance he takes. Odds are he won't live to say tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. They're handing you a number and taking away your name.
Hello.
Hello, alien. I'm Secret Agent AJ Pinkert from the NSA FX department.
Hello. How are you?
We've already been on your computer. We've hacked you. We know
Oh.
what you're doing all the time in the market. And for our NSA discretionary account, we're taking every trade you suggest. Just want to let you know.
Okay, that's fine for me.
You're supporting our spy agency here in the United States. So let's go, buddy. What do you got for us?
Okay.
Good call yesterday on covering your euro short and going long. Nice work.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And so sorry for the delay. I was caught up with the delivery man, and it's fine. Okay, let me share
My
my
robot, I have the same robot that Will Robinson said. He said, danger, danger, alien Ovid. Be careful of the human beings. They only think of themselves.
Yeah.
Unlike aliens who give.
No.
So what's your agenda for giving us all this great free information?
Well, nothing special. I just found the right community to share my ideas.
Come on, man. Any material goals in mind here?
Yeah, I have secret codes in my charts that manipulate people I mind.
Okay, buddy. All right. So, do you have your screen up right now? I just see mine.
Yes. Okay. So, what's
Is
you're asking the CAD weekly chart back to 2002?
Okay, I don't see it. Oh, hold on. Now I do. I got you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So what I'm going to start with the CAD because I saw a pattern back to 2002 that happened, and with the similarity between then and now, it's look like we have a nice thing to see.
Okay, is this based on the futures? Because the pricing looks weird to me.
No, this is the weekly chart back to the tops around 2002 and 2001.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, now I understand.
Okay. So back then, the Dixie topped around it's July 2001, and but the CAD didn't have a top. It waited 6 months. It topped around January 2002. Exactly after 6 months.
Okay, and on the second top in the dollar, you got the final top in Canada.
Yes, that's the idea. I want to start with this idea to show my other chart. You get the idea. So when we take the current price for 2015, in March the dollar made the top. The black line is the Dixie chart.
Okay.
And this one is the CAD. So back in March, the dollar made the top, and never got any new highs.
Right.
But meanwhile, the CAD made the new top. So if you take the Dixie and use it as an RSI, when you make a line, it's the same as an RSI. You can use it as a filtering for a divergence to the CAD.
Right. Okay, and this happened 6 months afterwards, like the analog you showed us from 2000?
Yes, exactly. It happened in March. You add 6 months, we are in September. This is exactly 6 months, and we have the top. And we have the divergence in the CAD. We have the divergence, but if the dollar didn't get up to new highs,
right? But CAD did.
But CAD did.
Just like that prior example you showed us.
Exactly. This is the. It happens even on lower time frame when you use the Dixie as an indicator of a diversion case. I mean, you don't need to use the RSI. You just put the Dixie with the euro or the. I mean, it's usually something like this. I used this example back with the Swissy, if you remember it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So what are the implications? So this top that we put in, the analog you showed after we topped 6 months after the dollar in the previous analog, what did Canada do? Did it fall dramatically, or was it just a pullback?
Could you excuse me for 1 second, please? I will just. Sorry about that.
Okay. Danger.
It's just my little kid, nothing serious.
They beamed up one of your little alien kids. All right, go ahead.
So, I mean, this, what we had back in 2001, it was a major top. I'm not saying we are going to have a major top, but at least this type of formation with the divergence, I mean, in a monthly chart, in a weekly chart, means at least we're having a temporary top for now. That's why I'm looking at this structure to continue lower for for at least another 2 months. I mean, even if we are going to get this bounce at the CAD, I mean, I think it's going to fail and we will get another move to the downside. But let me explain the bigger picture. I mean, with bullishness. I mean, I have both scenario, bullish and bearish. The bullish setup is still valid because looking down to the structure, I mean, it's a corrective. I mean, it's a clear ABC move from.
You just don't know if C is going to be a fib extension of A, right?
Well, that's it. Because C, it's always tricky. It can extend all the way up and never break the high, or just it can break. I mean, it do just a shallow highs and start going lower. But for now, this is a top. I mean, at least for 2 months from the highs, we're going to hold this top. But the next move is going to be important for the bulls. If it's going to hold this area around 26, that's going to be an opportunity to go long. But this is just the bullish side. I'm not convinced. I'm with the bear side, and I'm going to. Sorry, I forget to correlate it with oil. I prepare because
if we get that upper C higher level at 1.236, I think that might imply new lows in the crude oil.
Yes, that's what I'm going to implement.
Because looking at danger. Remember, I'm with the NSA. Go ahead.
Okay, because looking at the oil, I thought. I mean, last week I thought we are going to make this move really quickly, but that didn't happen, and oil just started. I mean, sideways, and when there is sideways, there is weakness. So for now, I'm seeing limited side to the oil while it's holding. I mean, the 60 area.
Yeah, $51.
Yes. So I mean, it's in a downtrend channel, and if we are going to see this last move in CAD, we are going to see new lows with the oil. But I mean, for now, that's what it's looking like. But doesn't mean that this move, the CAD could just stay sideways like the yen is doing, while the oil finishing his move, its move, and then we bounce back, and this is it. I mean, this will be a tricky area for the CAD. But at least for now, I think this is a major top, and could lead to to more correction. And I will be. I'm.
And your 126 level is a key level because it was a pivot going all the way back, and it's
Yes, to
also a
2002, and
fib retrace there.
yes, and we just
Okay.
broke above it. So if we are going to just to go through it, it's done. But
Hmm.
I think it will see a rebound from here. It's also, I mean, it's also the 50 back of this last swing. It comes around the 126, so it's
Nice.
a double support area,
Yeah.
which should see the CAD bouncing back. Okay.
What did you think of how the Shemitah worked out?
I was thinking about it. I think with everybody was waiting for it, and nobody, I mean, see, but it already maybe happened because the Shemitah day, it's, I mean, we had the crash 3 weeks before the Shemitah. I think maybe I mean, the thing happened already. The effect, people were so scared, so it drove the market lower before the event happened. Maybe something like that, and.
I think Pinker said there were too many people looking for an October crash, and that's why it wasn't going to happen.
Yes, but I mean, we had the biggest one-day drop before it, so I
Yeah,
mean, we got already excited about it. So
I was there. That's why I
we
was
all
happy
were there.
that's why I was happy that day. You know, I'm not always happy. So, okay,
Okay.
so great
Uh,
look and some interesting views on Canada.
yeah,
I kind of
okay.
agree that too many. I looked at some of the oil share stocks and ETFs, and they
Yeah.
still look vulnerable even if they rally again.
Yes.
For They don't look like they bottomed. And you have an interesting price target. I've heard other people bandy about like 28, 26,
Yeah, it
and
looks because it's also a previous support area around here, so
yeah,
it would be a strong area for to hold it and maybe to a target for sellers to take profits.
yeah. I'm interested. The last chart, kind of in time wise, where would that come in? Like around April? Those potential
I,
lows in the crude.
oh, I
This time
mean,
wise.
it's at the end of year because I said this. I mean, this move
Okay.
should last probably 2 months.
Okay,
So
so that
November,
could happen
December.
quite quickly. All right.
Yes, I will explain more with the euro chart because I have an interesting view for the euro and it correlates with the dollar thing. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
it almost looks like this time a weak dollar is going to be going along with weak crude. You know,
Dollar weakness.
there is an argument for that. If the dollar is a petrol currency
Yeah.
and there's less demand for the dollar because there's less demand for petro, that could be a bearish catalyst for the dollar.
Yes, that's a good point, and
Because
I
you
have
know,
to agree with that.
I'm getting ready to give up on thinking that the dollar could rally one more time up towards 97 or so.
Yes, I already gave
It's
up this
acting
idea.
pretty sick.
Yes, I have to agree, and I, I don't think we talked about it, but for this time, I mean, yesterday you said about the crisis we are ahead of, and I'm sure we will get there. But this time, I'm in my thinking, it's going to be against the dollar. I mean, last crisis at 2008, we saw a demand for the dollar, but this time I'm going with the opposite, and there is so many reasons for this. I'm not going to start the fundamental things, but I want to get to the charts to just explain the area we are in the euro. I mean, we look at the bottom formation in 2000. I mean, it was a triangle. It was a continuation triangle to the downside. And it took everybody by surprise and just start rallying.
Like the
I
gold
mean,
recently did, and you had a triangle there
yes,
too.
yes, I had triangle and start to the bullish side. But I mean, in these areas, you have to look what the market is telling you from signs. I mean, the euro is at. I mean, let me just enlarge it one more time. Oh, I don't have this. Okay, sorry. It's
Okay.
at the 50 back. From if we take the, I mean, the Dutch market and the euro, it's at the
Right.
50 back from the all-time rally. So, and at
Okay.
the same time, we finish it. If you take this is a rally and this is only a bigger correction wave, because this is just correction, it's a zigzag, it's a clear zigzag, and you hit the extension. So I mean, it's in the area of a bounce, and we are not, I mean, odd did new lows, CAD did new highs, but euro and pound just stuck there and hold the lows. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
significance for me, because uh, they are
And it's
making
having a
strong
and it's
move.
having a great October on your monthly chart.
Yeah. I mean, look back here. I mean, the euro just hold the low and
Yeah.
just started rallying back. I
Right.
mean, these patterns are, it's repeating itself all over the place. When you have a potential bottom, but you don't break the low, I mean, expect at least a strong breakout, either to fail like this one, or either to continue. And this is what I'm looking for the euro for now, because let me show the daily now. Because if you remember, we are still from last time. This
Yeah.
was a bullish setup I took I mean months ago,
Yeah.
and it was a great buy opportunity. But the pair just stood there and didn't took to new highs. But with yesterday and today action, we are, I mean, we are just starting to break, while pound didn't even break the low. Pound
Yeah.
holded also, pound holding also the 50 back area, which is I mean my the bullish setup, and
Right.
it's rallying. So for me, these are significant signal to say stop with the USD bullish side and think
Yeah.
about an extended correction.
Okay.
I
Can I
mean,
see your pound chart again?
okay, I'll show it. One second. Okay.
So you have
Uh,
an ultimate
this,
target of 165.
yes, this was I mean,
So
alternative view, but
149 is off the table now after what you're seeing in the
yeah.
last couple days. Okay.
No, I mean it's still on the table. I'll show the alternative view. Just 1 second. I mean, uh, I want to show the importance of this area. It was an up channel, and we needed a second point. I mean, if you take the 3 drive and take parallel trend line, you will get this point. At the same time, if you get this channel, it coincides exactly here. I mean, it was a really good point to
Right.
bounce.
51. Yeah.
Yes, and
And
it
we
held
were,
it.
I was only looking for 54, thinking it was going to be a retrace. But
Yeah, but
now, but now that retrace is looking more doubtful.
yeah, and I
Okay.
mean, there's, like I said it before, the pound is always the strongest one against the dollar, and you don't be, I mean, fooled by the down move, because it's looking corrective move. I mean, we had this strong rally, and now we are just correcting in a channel. So
Great look. And with what you described, Euro pounds rolling over. So it's if I'm right about Euro pound going to 71 or 70.50, I don't know if I'm going to be. It's going to be because of outperformance of the pound over the euro.
yes, that could be, because it's approaching the important 75 area, and if it hold below it, we will get
Yeah.
there. We will get
Yeah,
a
we're at
strong rally.
74.06 now.
Yeah, it's already holding there. So
Yeah.
let me back to the bearish view, because I mean, even the bearish view is a bullish one. Let me explain it. Because even if the pound gonna hold the 55 area and reverse down to target 49, it's I mean, it's going to be a falling wedge. And to use technical word, this is an A, B, C, and C is forming with an ending diagonal if we are going to go back. So even that, it's a bullish. I mean, if you go, it's not going to break from here, it's going to start the bullish move from here. In both
Okay, so
cases,
if you're flat the pound right now, what's your next move?
from what point of view? I mean, for a trade
Well,
or
you know,
option?
I mean, if we get, since we have alternate counts,
Yes,
are you a seller at 54.78 and then see what kind of pullback we get? Or,
exactly. I mean,
okay,
if you like if you find a good reversal here, you can try it because it will give you a reaction. You can just take the first, 100 pips and move your stop loss to break even, and
right.
wait for the patterns to follow, because it can just go there. But I'm not convinced this gonna happen because I'm seeing the euro. Doing if because if the euro breaks this high, it still didn't do it. But if it's going to do it tomorrow or maybe later, this is going to be an important one because it's going to start the move higher.
Okay, yeah,
It's essentially
just a simple measurement, say call it 110 and a half to 114 and a half will give you 118 and a half. Anyway,
yes. So
okay.
if you take, let me explain. This pattern is similar at this one. It's almost the same. We broke
Yeah.
above this high, we made the correction, and just we start rallying. This is the same pattern. It's happened always. It happens back here. Even in a monthly chart, we had the same. It's happening every time. So what I'm saying, this could be a nice important area to buy the euro. That's why that's my conclusion for this. If we are going to break this one, just wait for the pullback. It's gonna be, a 50 around 20. 1250, something like this. But this gonna be important for the bulls. Like I showed the chart, if it's going to hold this area, the support area, it's going to start rallying like it did in this. It just took 5 days to make 100 of pips. So it will do the same here if it's going to be supported.
Okay.
That's why I'm going with the bullish view for the pound. If we are going to just, this one is going to be a shallow correction and then breakout. So maybe for small trader, it's worth a try to short it here. I will do it. I will take if I find a 4-hour reversal. Pattern. I will with low risk. I will take it for sure. But what I want to focus on most, because this rally, this if it's going to happen, will take 2 months from here. So it's going to be a good rally like this one. We always waiting for a good swing. It's been boring market the whole summer, and finally there is a possibility of a breaking pattern, and I think everybody should watch it carefully and could jump in if find a good opportunity or the good setup. I
Okay.
know.
How do you think this all ties in with the S&Ps? If the S&Ps still have 2050 in it, and you know yesterday wasn't the high,
Yeah.
you would think that the dollar would hold together while we're completing up there towards 2050, right?
Yes, the dollar could just stay, sideways or just pull back. If I'm expecting this small correction on euro, which
Yeah.
mean a bullish reversal on the dollar, this
Yeah.
will take the S&P to reach that area, and that's it.
Okay.
It's all
Okay.
correlated around the market. And
Okay.
I have to note this is also the time zone for the reversal. To continuation to the downside for S&P. It entered the important time zone, and it
What
needs to
time?
finish its
What
move.
time is it? Next week, October 20th.
Uh, attends. In the chart, it's around next week, but it shouldn't
You know what
surpass
time
the
of the
next
day?
month.
Do you know happen to know, being from an advanced civilization, the exact time of the end of this pop towards 2050?
No, it's hard to have precise time, but at least we we will get the move. But at the
Oh my, I'm so
for sure.
disappointed with your civilization. I thought that after all of
It's a
that,
secret. I'm not
that
going to
after
give you the exact time.
all of your advanced technology and flying around the universe, can you
Uh,
nail it within, say, a 1 hour time frame? Huh?
let-
Oh,
no.
okay. Well, go back to your planet then, buddy. Great
Okay,
presentation. Work on pinpointing it to the minute for your next presentation.
okay, I'll
But
try. But let me
I
give
think
you,
you've been on Earth too long. You're just giving us
yeah,
human type
your food
analysis, and we
choice.
were looking for a little bit more. That's all.
Yeah, it's
You're
because
turning
of your
into
food.
a lowly human being, alien.
Okay, but
I love you, buddy, and
yeah,
really, thank you for straightening me out because I was about there on my psychology to flip with 94.5, no bounces in the dollar down here. That
yeah,
it acted sick. We had a real nice week and a half rally in the S&Ps, and the dollar made no
yes,
headway. The yen made no
yes,
headway. So that's kind of a message, isn't it?
yes, of course.
Yeah, because if
What?
the dollar can't rally when outside markets are supportive
Uh,
of it, then I ask
so
myself,
what?
what's it gonna do
Yeah,
when outside markets are negative for
imagine.
it?
Yeah, and we today with today's data, it's I mean pointing to that direction. I mean it's done at least for this end of the year. It's going to be
Yeah,
dollar weakness. One more thing.
great presentation.
Thank you there. I mean, if you want really to have a date for to focus for a long euro or pound, I think it's at the end of this month. I mean, between 25 to 13 of this month, we're going to have a bullish setup. If we are going to break this and reverse, I mean,
Okay.
but I mean, there is also, I mean, there is always the alternative. Like the pound have this move down, the euro could just not break the. I mean, let me. Sorry for this. The euro could just do this. I mean, it will try one more time the channel, the lower channel. It's still
Yeah.
holding the bullish setup and start rallying. But this is, I mean, a bit of strange seeing the S&P reaching an extreme levels and it should turn down. So, I mean, we have to keep it in mind because if this doesn't work from around here, you can still try it here. I mean, this will be a good opportunity. At least for me, I'm
So
going to
maybe
take.
just enough to flush out the 1080 bulls, take out those lows by a little bit.
Possibly yes,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I mean, my strong call will be this area to start
Right.
the move.
Yeah.
Second call is this one, and
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it's going to be a bear side,
I
I'm totally wrong with it.
Yeah. I think it. I go more with your preferred count.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Okay.
hope there's been enough clarification of my views, and that's it
Okay.
for me.
Where do I wire the check? Where do I wire the money?
I will send it to you
Uh,
privately.
all right, and get down on your back and pull your arms over your head 25 times and keep your
Okay,
back straight.
I'm doing it now.
All right, good. And thank you, buddy. As always,
Yeah.
you always come through with some insightful views. So everyone thank Alien Ovicho for sharing some nice macro calls going ahead and the fate of the dollar now looking like weaker into year end and looking for opportunities on dollar strength to fade. Thank you, Alien.
You are welcome. Have a great day and good luck,
Hey,
everyone.
buddy. All right. Good hunting.
Thank you.
Everyone thank Alien for another great presentation. Great presentation. So It's people like Alien that make our community great. I haven't heard from our guest yet. Not sure if it's going to come out. Oh, here he is. So Mauricio, I'm hearing from AJ right now. Stand by for AJ Monty. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be interviewing AJ in about 15 minutes. Stand by. Thank you very much, Alien. Great presentation. So Euro's coming off, pound's not. Euro pound is breaking pretty good. Yen's trying to come back. Everyone doing okay? What did the gold do? So gold's still trying to reverse up here. Everyone see that? And stand by for our interview. I'm going to take a quick break here. Be right back. Everyone doing okay? I'm back. 1190. Okay. That's not that much further. How about longer term? 1300? How's Khalid's crude trade working out? Got a nice bounce there. Euro Aussie looks like it's developing a flag here. Thank you, Aileen. Everyone doing okay? $12.50. Okay. UK Kev, how are you? Dr. Savaraman, how are you? First for Trading, how are you? Fame, how are you doing? Tim, how are you doing? Crude oil trying to turn. Congratulations, Khalid, you're on fire. Everyone congratulate Khalid for his scalp on the long side of crude oil. Everyone doing okay? I'm fine, Doc. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Caught a little of your broadcast last week. It's working for me. Anyone else having trouble with the chat window? Dr. Severe Man is saying that there's the chat window and the video page is not working. Mauricio, is it working for you? Nice shot, veteran. Stand by for AJ Monty. There's a little bit more to be up. Okay, Mauricio. I'm back. Everyone congratulate Veteran. That was a nice short on the Euro. He caught this candle. Nice trade, buddy. Everyone doing okay? Stand by for AJ. Okay, 120, 123 is important. There's Alien's look. I believe this is a yearly chart, buddy. Yeah, yearly chart. We should get something like this then. 80 to 160. So 80 from here, give you 185. 185 euro if we have equality. If we get equality of this from here, gives you 185. Definitely above this high. Thank you, Alien. Nice yearly candles. Yeah, a yearly is pretty significant what it does on a yearly basis. Thank you, partner. If you want to be a star, have an interview in LAR. If you need a new car, hang out in LAR. Give me an LAR. LAR. Okay, thank you, Alien. Did you guys like the you guys like that? If you want to be a star, use less leverage when you trade the markets. Use wider stops so you don't get picked off. Use less leverage or you might lose your head and your account will be dead. She likes that song? Okay, thank you, Mauricio. So AJ's saying he doesn't have the link yet. Just letting you know. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Dale Pinkert. I'm the anchor here on FX Street's live analysis room. We had a nice presentation by Alien Ovich building the bear case for the dollar today. Macro sees 120 coming by year end. Have to admit that the dollar is weakening. The Dixie is on the verge of a breakdown here. There's your dollar index rolling over. Of course, I'd like to sell a rally and not do it in the hole, so maybe a little bit more downside and we get a counter trend bounce in the Dixie and a pullback in the euro. Aliens identified about 112.70 as a buy point. Bullish outlook in the pound as well. I'm going to be interviewing AJ Monty, so stand by for AJ. His Twitter handle is @theoptionsoracle. AJ's been written up in Wikipedia, and not just everyone gets written up in Wikipedia. So looking forward to speaking to AJ. Here's my screen and what I'm talking about in the Dixie. And we're on the verge of rolling over here in the Dixie. So any rally, low fib rally from the highs that we had up there, 94.5, 2.5, maybe 1.25 back, maybe back to 5.5, maybe 96 would be a shorting opportunity in the dollar, buying opportunity in Euro USD, GBP USD. Still looking for a rally to sell in Canada, 132, 133. And then lower lows, Aliens presentation lined up with that we had in Canada. So we were there for the top, still looking at this as being an A wave and this being a B wave, and possibly back to the 200 moving on the 4 hour, 132.30 is about 38% back. Some people looking for 33. And then finish it off with a move back down towards 126, 125. Those are my calls. The next one's yours. I invite everyone to join us here in our FX analysis room because we share our ideas with pictures, with charts. And We get a lot of great views. Here's a yearly view on the Euro by Alienovich, anticipating 120 to be tested by year end. We've had other charts along the way. Today we had a nice scalp. The Guardian is showing us a Kiwi. I missed that. I'm going to be interviewing Jose this Friday. Here's his look at the Kiwi. Looks like we're diverging, a little 3 drive to a top. And now I'm just waiting for AJ Monty to join us. So there's a few looks. We communicate by text, but we also communicate by a picture speaks 1,000 words. There's another look from Alien in the Euro. So that perhaps we take out these highs first and get our pull back to 13, maybe 1250, and then we're on our way to 117, which is a 1.618 extension of the first wave. So this should give you an idea of what we do for a few hours here. It's my belief it's the best community on the net, paid or unpaid. It's free. There's no risk for you to come in, hang out with us, share your work, or just sit back and enjoy the flow of ideas coming from our community. So I just want to welcome everybody that's watching us on FX Street's homepage. That LAR is here to add value to your trading experience on FX Street. So I'm just standing by now for AJ. Okay, just got a Skype from AJ. He's loading the app right now. Stand by for AJ Monty at the Options Oracle. Should be another edifying interview. I'll do my best to ask the questions that you would ask yourself. If you have any questions, text them on the chat page and I'll try and get to them. I see AJ now. Hi, AJ. How are you? Waiting to see if you could hear me. Hi, AJ. Can you hear me? Dale Pinkert here, live from San Diego. Still no sound? You hear me? I can't hear you, AJ. Okay, you hear me, but I can't hear you. Reload the page, please, is what my producer is saying. Try reloading the page. So close it and click the link one more time. Thank you for your patience. Use less leverage when you trade the market. Use wider stops so you don't get picked off. Use less leverage or you might lose your head and your account will be dead. Use less leverage, use less leverage, use less leverage. This is live show business. Still waiting for AJ. Everyone doing okay? Canada, I still think, has a run. This looks like ABC for another shorting opportunity between 32, 33. I'd like to see another push up towards 89.5 in Aussie yen to set up a short back at the breakdown in Aussie yen. This was a breakdown. We almost got to it yesterday. I'd like to see one more move towards 89.5, 90, and have some divergence occurring there because we had a confirmed high up here. I actually did diverge on the 1 hour here. I don't believe we did on the 4. Still looking heavy a little bit. That may have been it. You know, we came close enough. Still having technical issues here. Perhaps it's not going to come off. We'll see what our wingman can pull off here. Yen's in trouble. WTI giving it back. Gold trying to roll again. Euro Aussie rolling again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Here we go. Hi,
Dale?
AJ.
Hey.
Hey, thanks so much for your patience. It's a new thing that we're doing here using Hangout as well. I've told the community a little bit about you. Not everyone is written up in Wikipedia. So I'm going to ask you for an 8x10 glossy and an autograph.
Okay, I think we can manage that, Dale.
Thank you, buddy. So I like to start at the beginning because, you know, we all have a journey from point A to point B.
Right.
What was it like for you, AJ? How did you get involved in the industry, the trading industry, and gravitated towards the options market? Did you have mentors? Were you self-taught? Tell us about the most treacherous time for all traders, which is early on.
Well, that's quite a handful of topics there, but let me just tell you this. Even when I was a young boy, I was always driven by the numbers. I'm a numbers guy.
Okay.
I excelled in any math class that I took when I was in school, and my second passion was to fly airplanes. So my degree is not in anything financially related. It's in aerospace, aerospace engineering to be exact.
Wow.
So my goal was to fly airplanes, and I went into the military to do that for the Navy. And when I got out, my original goal was to set up a helicopter shuttle service from Connecticut to Manhattan. Biggest challenge there, you don't have money when you get out of the military. So I had to find a way to make money quickly and then apply that to my business plan. Well,
Now, your dream, you needed an angel or to find your own way to fund it.
exactly. So what I did, I had an uncle who traded coffee, sugar, and cocoa on the exchange there in New York, but I didn't want his help in getting a job. I wanted to do it on my own. So what I would do every Friday, I would take the train into Manhattan and I would hang out at the Market Bar and get to know the traders there. I would drink club soda with lime, and I would just hang out at the bar and I get to know people. And I did this for a series of weeks until I ran into a gentleman by the name of Don Sylvie, who just happened to be hiring for his company at that particular time. And the big question to me was whether or not I had any experience. And, you know, in all honesty, I told him, no, I don't. And he said, well, I'm sorry, we're looking for experience. And I cut him a deal just like any option trader would do. I said, Don, I'll remove the risk from you by working for you for 2 weeks free. And if you don't like how I accelerate during that time, I walk, there's no risk to you. And he hired me right on the spot. So that was my first in to Wall Street at the time. And again, that was in the World Trade Center. Yeah.
Yeah, great strategy. You know, for me, I got signed on to the trading floor, and I had the same attitude as you, AJ. I'd go to all the different desks and say, you know what? I really don't care what you're going to pay me. I want to learn the industry. I want to learn the business. I saw the belly market go fast market and people being dropped off in limos and Rolls Royces, and I wanted to be part of that. So
it's exciting, and you know, it's hard for me to gauge what your audience right here is looking for, but I'll tell you, I think there's one thing we all have in common, and that's to make money in the markets.
That's the common denominator. You're right.
Yeah, and it's not. This is not rocket science. It's actually very easy to make money in the market when you're moving with the market and not trying to go against the market. That's the biggest deal right there. And I would also say it's also the biggest mistake that people make is they try to fight the price action.
Okay, can I push back on that a little bit? I noticed that you had a nice trading call at the lows in Nugget, because I watched the golds. You know, I've always been interested in gold, and we do a lot more than FX here. We cover all asset classes. And to me, that wasn't going with the trend. That was really something counter trend. Almost a bottom pick. So there are certain situations where you are interested in catching turns, or do you always wait for a trend to be established? Because that would not seem to be an example of an established trend.
Right, and there's always certain exceptions to, you know, some of the rules that are out there. That one in particular was a very unique trade, because rarely do I ever trade stocks that are about to go through a split, or even in this case with Nugget, a reverse 10-for-1 split. But what I felt is that
Why is that? Why is that? You know, people have experienced being in issues that end up being diluted, and I know that sometimes there are reverse splits because institutions cannot participate if a share price is under, I think, $5 or so. Why are reverse splits viewed as negative?
Well, in most cases, it's like the kiss of death. It's a company trying to salvage the price in order to increase the margin requirement. Like you mentioned, a lot of brokers will require a bigger cash up front margin deposit for stocks under $5. And on a technical level, when you see stocks rally over $5, they tend to keep on rallying because the margin requirement changes. In other words, the trader now has more buying power, if you will, to get into that position, and it tends to move the prices higher. But the big difference in what we were doing here with Nugget, which is really the gold miners, it's a leverage 3-for-1. I heard your song earlier about less leverage. This is a fairly highly leveraged instrument. and you have to be careful with those because they're usually just short-term tools that you would use to make money. But
Yeah, well, compared to what we do here with 10-to-1 leverage on everything we do, it's tame.
Right.
So ETFs, 3 times leverage. So
right.
I understand for an average investor, trading stocks, it increases the volatility.
Exactly. And, and if it was anything other than the gold market, I probably would have walked away from it. We had a 40%, just a little over 40% return in 6 days, which is pretty good. I basically I send trade alerts out to those who subscribe to my service, and I have this year with regard to the market, and I hope this is being recorded because I love recording history. I have 100% accuracy in my forecasting for 2015, 100%. And so that means every single report that I put out on the market has made money.
Can you tighten it up a little bit to maybe 110%?
Well, you can't beat that.
I don't think, let me ask you this. That's an unbelievable hit rate. What is it normally for you?
It's usually around 77 to 82.
Still excellent.
Yeah,
so you're in the zone right now, buddy.
Well, yeah. If you're talking baseball, the Cubs are in that zone too. But
yeah, they are.
You have to be careful because that's a double-edged sword. Everyone, if they're in the markets long enough, will have a winning streak, and the challenge with that is that you start to feel invincible.
Right, hubris sets in.
Exactly. And then
people say, well, you know what? It's the house money. It's your money now, right? It's not the house's money.
Your profits, and you wind up giving your profits back to the market. But going back to NUGT, that's what happens is when a stock goes through a reverse split like that, and the share price increases, it literally attracts the institutional money because now they can move more money instead of buying a $2.30 stock, and $1 million is going to cause it to rally 10%. So it gives the institutions a little bit more liquidity when the price is higher, and that's why you see so much institutional participation in Apple and a lot of the other stocks, like Tesla, Motors, and other companies have the higher share prices.
Okay, so you're an options guy.
I love options.
Vis-a-vis at the options oracle. So as a jaded person early in my life, I said this: options are like relationships. 90% of them expire worthless. Are you an options writer?
I do a lot of spread trading, so it's all statistics, probability, and outcome. I look for the high probability trades. I shoot for at least 5% in any 4-week period with regard to time decay, and I just keep hitting singles on them. Again, using the baseball analogy, but I like to do the high probability trades, not get greedy, and just keep chipping away with the market on a regular basis. And in the end, we do extremely well.
Okay, so on the decay part, you using verticals, bull, bear spreads, risk reversal type positions where, like in Nugget, you could have sold puts and bought calls and made money on the decay plus the appreciation. That's probably your highest risk option trade, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I do calendar spreads, particularly diagonal calendar spreads, vertical spreads, and I'll leg into condors, and in some cases I'll leg into some butterflies. And again, for your audience that might sound like a foreign language, these are just conservative spreads that limit your risk to a certain number. And again, I don't do anything in the options markets unless I'm looking at a chart first.
Okay, you read my mind. That was my next question. So your biases for trades are technically driven by what you're seeing on the charts.
Exactly. Like the chart you're showing right now, it's hard for me to see what that is.
You know, perhaps you could share your screen. There is a way to share screens here.
Let me
It's
try to
up,
do that.
yeah, it's up on the upper left-hand corner. It's a green box with an arrow, and upper left-hand corner, if you
Okay, here we go.
scroll in,
All right.
and
Now
then your
going.
desktop will come up, and then you could choose what you want to show.
Okay, I'm just going to share my whole desktop here and pull up.
Okay.
You tell me when you could see it. You
Got
see
it.
my screen?
Got it.
Okay. Now this is basically the PowerShares U.S. dollar index, and again, I'm assuming a lot of your followers are currency traders.
Yes.
This is an easy way for the general public to trade the dollar without feeling, oh, I got to go open up an FX account and read all the books. This trades like a stock.
Right.
And
This is UUP. UUP.
Yeah, this is UUP.
So that's
Yeah,
that's a long dollar, right?
Yeah, basically, this is an index that more or less represents a basket of other global currencies, and they match that against the dollar. So
the chart looks identical to the Dixie.
Yeah, again, it's a simple way, and I love to promote this because it helps all the currency traders out as well. If I'm the educator to the general public that's not exposed to currencies, this gets their toe in the pool, so to speak, because it trades just like a stock. And
okay, well,
see, like right now,
I'm seeing a descending triangle, which gives me a bearish bias. What are you seeing?
On the long term, you might say, yeah, that's a descending triangle because I could connect these tops here and go into that price pattern. But on the short term, if you look more closely, this gap down with the doji down here, so this is a short-term bearish move.
Okay,
so I think
you're also a candlestick guy.
Yeah, I love candlesticks.
AJ be nimble, AJ be quick. AJ uses candlesticks.
And yeah, and you know, another thing about charts is that you have to really do your best to keep your opinion out of the picture, because I could change this chart up any way I want to make it look as bearish or as bullish as my opinion says it is.
Okay.
This could also be looked at as a pennant and a breakout bullish long term. You know, so you got to be really careful.
Right.
I pick my time frame, which is usually short term.
What is that? 1 hour time frame? 4 hour time frame?
No, I'm more of a swing trader. Again, again, thank you. Yeah, the currency traders are like in and out, but
all right. So a daily is your shortest time frame.
Yeah, daily. But I could hold a position with the options spreads for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and cash out and roll into the next month.
Okay.
See, this Friday, this week is very, very interesting because here we are talking on Wednesday, and 2 more days is options expiration Friday for the October chain. And what you may not know, well, you're a pit trader, so you might know this. The week.
Oh, yeah, they're going to try and settle it at a strike price, so both the put buyers and call buyers lose their money.
Exactly. That's called getting pinned. And okay. I actually wrote a white paper for the chartered market technicians through the MTA that talks about the pin factor and how stocks are generally drawn to prices that have the highest buildup of open interest on both sides. And then what happens, it's kind of like you're letting out the pressure relief valve. The following week, which is next week in this case, we generally get higher volatility in the week after expiration, and you can track this through historic charts and such. The week after options expiration is usually the most volatile, so that's great for the traders who are looking to get a slightly higher percentage of return on a shorter trade.
Okay, so that's also very useful information to look for an expiration and the next time period after it to look for initiating positions. So here we are in the middle of this, whatever you want to describe it as, what are you looking forward to doing in the UUP?
Well, I'm going to switch to NUGT and then go back to UUP so you can see
Okay.
what to look for.
Okay.
On this day right here, which was, let me see, I'm looking at this. It was right here.
The day before the NFP.
Yeah, exactly. This was a bullish engulfing pattern,
Right.
and we bought this at $2.86 pre-split, and then it just literally took off. Now, here, this big red candle is a bearish engulfing pattern. And again, for those who are trading currencies, if you could look at these engulfing patterns are some of the most reliable signals you can get on a chart. About 80% of the time they're going to be accurate. Obviously 20% they won't be, so you got to protect yourself. And I will many times buy and sell on these signals. And it's very, very interesting how that works out. You could see that was just a home run of a trade right there.
Yes, it was. Congratulations.
So going back to UUP, I'll take a look here again on the
So
daily.
do you think with the bearish engulfing candle, before we leave this nugget, that we should now, at the minimum, enter a corrected stage back to the downside, or could this be the 20% level where that bearish engulfing candle fails?
No, I think this one is going to hold, and here's why. Another thing you have to watch for. You'll notice these are my actual charts. This is exactly what I use to trade. You'll see there's no indicators, oscillators, moving averages, nothing. It's bare candle patterns with volume. And
Okay.
you'll notice that NUGT moved up in a pretty dramatic way, more than 45% angle there.
Yeah.
But look at the volume here. Can you see this?
Yeah. It's declining on the last few days to the other.
Yes. Now,
declining.
volume, in my opinion, volume is one of the forgotten leading indicators. It truly is a leading indicator. And when you see prices going up with dropping volume, that tells us that the buyers are losing that momentum. If they were aggressive and still very bullish, volume would be increasing in the direction of the trend, and it's not doing.
That's a pearl, AJ.
Yeah, it really is. And I could even fan this volume. You'll see over the past 3 days, and although the market still has a lot of time before it closes, I still think the volume on this one will drop by the end of today. And so you have a consistent drop in volume with a stale or stall price action here. Again, 80% chance it's going to drop. So I've completely gotten out of the NUGT, took my 40% profit, looking for the next trade.
Okay, and after a move like that, you're not going to trade the reaction. You're going to wait for the pullback to reinstate.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, for someone who maybe is not so convinced it's going to go lower, you know, you mentioned it again in the pre-warm-up here. Just trail your stop. You know, just use these short-term trend lines or legs to gauge where you're going to trail your stop higher, and then lock in a higher profit. If it goes higher, you're in great shape. Let the stock tell you when it's tired. Let the stock tell you when to get out, and that's when you get out and you break. I happen to sell this up here when I saw the big drop in volume on a gap up.
Okay. I have a question from the community. I'm pretty sure I know how you're going to answer it. Do you feel engulfing candles have the same accuracy on all time frames?
Absolutely.
That's
I
what I
can
thought.
take this, absolutely. And that's whoever asked that question, that's a great question, because you do have day traders here, and look, this is NUGT on a minute by minute, and you can see that there's intraday resistance up here, okay? Yeah. And if you look, there was a bit, even on a minute by minute, if I zoom in here, I don't know if any of you could see where the bearish engulfing pattern is, but look at this right here, boom. Look at that, right there.
Yeah.
This is minute by minute. And then it comes back down, has another bearish engulfing pattern, went a little bit lower, but then it started to rally. If this was a red candle, this is almost the bullish engulfing pattern here at the bottom. So
Yeah, what's that one at the bottom? Is that called like a doji or a?
it's a spinning top. It's a spinning.
Okay. Yeah, spinning tops make me dizzy.
Well, spinning tops, dojis, hammer
Yeah.
patterns, those are all really, really good signals when you're looking for pivot points. And by the way, Dale, on my Market Guy website, I have a free video library that explains all of these. I came up with what's called market shots, and they're 3-minute videos that explain different signals, so you can play them over and over again. I make that free to the public if you want to just
Cool.
bless that.
Yeah.
Now look, here we have a bullish engulfing pattern right here, right now forming as we speak. This is live.
Right.
Now, if this holds, now I don't know how many people would be trading live at this point, but if this holds, now remember this is minute by minute. If the next minute comes by and this stays as a bullish engulfing pattern, then what you do is you would trade that, and you would use your role reversal. I know I'm using another term here, but former resistance broken turns to support. Use the role reversal. See, now we have a bullish engulfing pattern, so I think that it's going to go up to test that high. That's my forecast right there.
Okay. All right.
You'll see. And it'll probably go a little bit higher from here. So if you're trading and you think, okay, there's a bullish engulfing pattern, 80% chance it'll go higher, I put my stop down below that pattern, and I just get out if it closes below that, and then I'm done.
So you use actual physical stops. You don't use mental stops on this.
I use physical subs. Mental subs tend not to fire when you need them to. So
Yeah, you know what I say about mental stops? I tried it once, and my first stop was a mental institution.
oh man.
All right, so those.
Yeah,
So those are some great looks. Anything else you want to share with us?
Well, you know, when you're again looking at the chart, and if you're an option trader, you want to again just have a high probability. You know, everyone seems to be going, at least lately, the people I'm talking to are looking for a long shot home run. And my opinion of the general markets long term is extremely bearish. I mean, I am really bearish about the general markets. I've never before in my 33 years have I seen such a confused Federal Reserve Board. Never. I mean, the signals that they put out are confusing. They're not sure of themselves with interest rates. Currency traders are going to have a field day when interest rates start moving higher, and I believe they will. But you don't want to go for the long shot. Go
Right,
with.
so you're saying, getting back to the baseball metaphor, you're better off hitting for the average, hitting singles and doubles, and swinging for the fences and blowing up your account.
Yeah, and listen, when I was younger, I made millions of dollars without hardly even knowing anything because I followed the trend. And you mentioned an important word. I did have mentors, and I, as a young trader, would simply just hang out with those who I knew were the most successful on the trading floor. And I basically just copied what they did. And one of the things they did was they kept very tight stops. They would go and take short-term trades, but you're talking half of 1%,
Right.
you know, and they're out. You know, it wasn't like holding on to a loss and hoping that it gets better. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, I have like a million Pinkertisms. That hope is oxygen in our life, but carbon monoxide in our trading.
Oh yeah, it's true. Hope is not a strategy; it's an emotion. And in this world of trading and investing and options and all that, you cannot allow or afford to let your emotions pop in there. You have to be very strategic. Stick to the numbers. Stick to the signals. And if you don't have the discipline to get out when you should, then try to find someone that can hold you accountable. You know, it might be a spouse, might be a close friend.
Could be a community.
Yeah, absolutely. What you're doing for your audience right now is you're creating a community that is critical to success if you want to continue to learn. I always like to surround myself with people who know more than I do. I'm I'm not too proud to say I know it all. I don't, and I know I have a lot more to learn. But I also learn from my mistakes over the years and try not to duplicate them.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, AJ, it was a great interview. It was a pleasure talking to you. You want to show your website and how people that are hearing you now that saw you could.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's nice. Let me see if I could get that open. Basically, it's the Market Guys, plural, themarketguys.com, and I'll just put that in there right there. And to show everyone where the videos are, it's simple. Just go to the video link right there. Can you see that, Dale?
Yeah, got it.
And I have a whole library of things that people can learn using my actual charts. Again, they're very clean. When I was using the 1% rule, I did throw a 50-day moving average up there. But look, gap trading, the roll reversal, that one thing that I'm showing, that made me $1 million in the gold market, learning how to use the roll reversal, simple horizontal line that you could draw on your chart. And then, of course, other things that would support the signals that you want to pay attention to, and it goes on and on. You just look at those videos over and over again. It's free. I give that as a gift to you and your audience. And
I appreciate that, AJ. So trading was a means to an end for your chopper company. Do you still have it? Or was the dream better before it became a reality?
Well, interestingly enough, I made so much more money on the trading floor than I would have flying helicopters and airplanes, so I just do that for fun now. And I have one of my other businesses is I've taken profits and I bought airplanes and I created a flight school. So now I help teach people to fly. I have a team of instructors that do that for me. I don't teach, but I do have the airplanes. And so if any of you want to come over and stop by Orlando for a free ride, we'll take you upside down.
That's where you're trading from now, Orlando?
Yeah, and I'm soon to be moving out to a place called Cedar Key. It's one of the gems and best kept secrets in Florida. Mm-hmm. And I know I will never retire from the markets, but I will be going out there with the horses and pick up a fishing pole every now and then. And still, it's a passion. Trading options is a real passion. I hope everyone can develop that passion so it doesn't become stressful for you. It becomes fun. And when you can learn how to do this for fun, you'll never work a day in your life. I promise you.
Well, you know what, AJ Monty, living the dream, and a live example that it can happen. And really, it was a pleasure. I'm glad I reached out to you on Twitter, AJ. Thank you for sharing some time, because, you know, money comes and goes. Time is gone forever. So thank you for spending some of your most precious currency with us today, AJ.
Thank you.
Good hunting. Have a great fall season. Let's just wrap it up with your bearish on the stock market. There's two scenarios most people are talking about, that we're in a corrective period right now. We can trade down to 1750, 1760, maybe 1620, and then rally into new highs sometime next year. Or is it your view that the distribution that took place all year is signaling the top and the beginning of a bear market?
Well, I think that we'll still see a little bit lower from here, and then maybe we'll see that year-end Santa Claus rally. But 2016 is going to be extremely treacherous as the Fed starts to tighten, and they don't even use that word anymore. But I do think that inflation eventually is going to rear its ugly head. We're seeing it in the global markets, particularly in food inflation. I don't know how many of you have been comparing.
I don't know what you pay for eggs, but they've tripled here.
Oh, absolutely. And people, you know, I was looking at, what was it? My wife went shopping, and I said, "You want me to come with you?" Which is something I never do. And I noticed all the packages are just getting smaller. Same price.
That's another deceptive
That's inflation. That's inflation. So eventually they'll have to do something. The dollar is, I think, at risk here. The IMF there is a lot of talk and even more rumor that there's a global currency on the horizon looking to replace the dollar. And if that
Yeah,
ever happened.
that's been conspiracy talk for a long time, but it's they're definitely making noise. I was surprised they didn't include the yuan in the SDR, and I believe the SDR is going to be the new global currency, isn't it?
It very well could, but whatever happens there, I am a big accumulator right now of silver. I love silver right now, and because I started trading silver, and when you could buy silver at or below what it costs to pull it out of the mines, I'm all over that. And
And that's what, $10 break even for silver producers.
yeah, well, yeah, and you got to look. This is a monthly chart now,
Yeah,
very close to a bullish engulfing pattern on the monthly chart for silver.
yeah,
And look at these are 20-year lows down here. These are the
right.
20-year lows. So I'm looking easily at a double in silver over the next 3 years, and I'm being conservative with that. I think
A lot of people talking 70 new highs for the next.
yeah, and I would love to see that because I'm loaded to the gills with it. But I think easily a double. And if you're taking your profits from whatever you're trading and then tucking some of those profits away into a silver portfolio, I don't think you could go wrong with that.
Well, what about physical? Because if
I
we
thought that
see
too.
$70 silver, you might need it for barter.
Well, again, conspiracy theory perhaps, but hey, listen, why not, for fun, teach your kids how to go out there on one of these websites and buy silver coins or bullion or bars or whatever you want and just tuck it away. I can't tell you, it's such a great feeling to open up your safe and see a wall of silver in there. There's something about that. Maybe it goes back to the days of the pirates, but it's something that really makes me happy. And yeah, it's fun.
they call that the King Midas effect.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm never going to tell you where I live, Dale.
You beat me to it. I was going to ask for your address. So, AJ, it was compelling and fun to hang out with you today, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and it was fun for me too.
All right, AJ Monty. At the Market Guys is his website. At the Options Oracle is his Twitter handle, and you could find more out about AJ on Wikipedia. And here's a guy that made it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just model yourself after someone successful. So I'd like you to mentor me the rest of my life, AJ.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Good hunting.
All right, you too.
AJ Monty. Start accumulating silver. Everyone doing okay? That was a great interview. I'm sorry, Mauricio, I forgot the name of the city, but it had Key in it. Crystal Key or something Key. It's probably near the Keys. Anyway, that's what I see. So we've run over a little bit here today, guys. I want to thank everyone for their contributions today. Thank Mauricio and Khalid, nice trade and crude, veteran, Abel, Jose, first for trading, you, Kev, Tim K, Abel, all my trading warrior brothers and sisters. Have a great day. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Deal? Is it a deal? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alien, Veteran, Tim K, Goldie, UK Kev. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're halfway through the week. S&Ps are lower. And it was my mission and Mauricio's mission to build up and edify you today. I hope our mission was accomplished. I want to thank Alien for his great presentation today. He's changed my bias in the dollar, and then AJ just confirmed it. So until then, everyone, good hunting. And remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.